Hello, my name is Godsent Micheal. I'm a full stack developer with the Dannyokec Developers Hub. I'm a med lab scientist by profession, but then sometime in my 300 level, I started, 200 level, when we did CSC 280, Computer Science 280, they introduced us to foundations of programming, where we learned Fortran, an outdated programming language. So at that point, I felt like I really needed to know how these things work under the hood. Our lecturer then mentioned that that's welcome to bank, or welcome to this message you see when you're walking into a bank or a supermarket, that is done with C++. So I was like, okay, what's C++ and why are we learning Fortran? So all those things piqued my interest, and at that point I felt like, or I knew deep down that this is what I wanted to do. I want to know how the web, Chrome, mobile apps, I want to know how they work under the hood. That was just how my journey into the tech industry started. Alright, yes, my favorite IDE is Visual Studio Code. When I started coding far back 8 years ago, I started with Sublime. So over time, I figured Sublime is good. It's beginner friendly, no doubt, but it doesn't quite give you the freestyle abilities you want. You don't have your own personal workspace. You can't get extensions to create your workspace, to customize it just the way you want. So that's to say, my best IDE, or my favorite IDE, is the Visual Studio Code. Yeah, for a developer, or for every developer out there, there are basic skills they have in common, and in my opinion, it starts with critical thinking, your ability to think critically, and then secondly, problem solving abilities. If you're somebody that runs away from problems, or you don't want to figure out a way to do something, then programming is not for you. Then I think most importantly is teamwork. If you can't work in a team, if you can't collaborate with other persons and get a task done, then programming is not actually for you, because you get to Herculean tasks that will really need you to work with a team. So yes, these are the 3 important skills I feel every developer out there should have. My coping mechanism for approaching bugs. So of course, debugging is really a problem for every developer. Everybody at some point in their career has faced the problem of bugs and then finding your code all buggy and all that. But one thing that has helped me is some of the programming principles. So when I know that I have to keep my code dry, that's do not repeat yourself. So it has actually helped me as a principle to make sure that I don't run into bugs. But of course, we all know that one way or the other you still run into the bugs. So when I run into bugs, one thing I do where I feel I've tried everything I know is I just close my laptop or my workspace. I just keep everything down and then go look for a way to clear my head. I either go swimming, or I take a walk, or I look for somebody to play chess with, just to make sure I clear my head before I come back to the task, and probably I will see what I was doing wrong. Any aspiring software developer shouldn't fall for the same trap I fell into. When you're starting out as a developer, there is this need to learn every language out there. You want to learn C#, you want to learn Python, you want to learn JavaScript, you still want to learn every available framework. My advice to every developer or aspiring developer out there is, when you're starting, learn the fundamentals, learn the basics. That's what you build upon over time. If you understand JavaScript very well, you will build upon JavaScript. You will then learn React, which is a framework built upon JavaScript. But then before we even get to JavaScript, start with the very basic ones, HTML, CSS, because this is what every app, web app or mobile app, runs on. It gives you the basic skeleton. So my advice to every aspiring developer out there is, keep it simple when you're starting. Don't fall for the trap of trying to learn every language all at the same time. You can either choose one, become advanced or become good at it before you try to get your hands dirty with every other thing. But for the start, pick a niche. So once again, my name is Godsent Micheal. I'm a software developer and a full stack developer. What that means is that I can always handle projects from the front end and to the back end and to hosting it. So I'm with Dannyokec Developers Hub, and it's been a nice time having this chit chat with you. And to every aspiring developer out there, I hope that whatever stories or mistakes I've made in my own time coming up, you don't get to make them. That's the basic reason why I'm getting to share this. Those mistakes I spotted out, make sure you don't make them. See you at the top.